Should he forget? Should he forget? I wouldn't call. I wouldn't call. Pleased. Pleased. We will not travel at sunset. We will not travel at sunset. Doesn't he answer? Doesn't he answer? Could you pass me the salt, please? Could you pass me the salt, please? Was I a regular sometimes? Was I a regular sometimes? Despite the busy schedule, they always find time for each other. Despite the busy schedule, they always find time for each other. Where can I find breakfast cereals? Where can I find breakfast cereals? He couldn't be bothered every week. He couldn't be bothered every week. Does it open after 1 minute? Does it open after 1 minute? 5 years later, I'm a judge. 5 years later, I'm a judge. They don't start a war right away. They don't start a war right away. What kind of pastry would you like? What kind of pastry would you like? Finally. Finally. Phone is ringing. Phone is ringing. If he saves enough money, he will buy a new car. If he saves enough money, he will buy a new car. I like to drink coffee in the morning. I like to drink coffee in the morning. Wouldn't you recommend after 2 nights? Wouldn't you recommend after 2 nights? The gardens are beautiful. The gardens are beautiful. Assistance is usually offered by the official. Assistance is usually offered by the official. Should I enter later? Should I enter later? Will I ask after 4 nights? Will I ask after 4 nights? My family is working. My family is working. Do I fill it at dusk? Do I fill it at dusk? They lack proper education. They lack proper education. He needs to improve his piano skills every day. He needs to improve his piano skills every day. You cannot comment after midnight. You cannot comment after midnight. Even though it's raining, I still go for a run. Even though it's raining, I still go for a run. Quitting smoking is difficult. Quitting smoking is difficult. Was your nephew a speaker? Was your nephew a speaker? We'll convince you in 4 seconds. We'll convince you in 4 seconds. How incredible! How incredible! Is this the correct museum way? Is this the correct museum way? It's beyond the scope of my home knowledge. It's beyond the scope of my home knowledge. How many cars do you have? How many cars do you have? He has $2. He has $2. I bought a new car last month. I bought a new car last month. Can I find international food products here? Can I find international food products here? They are going to school. They are going to school. Necessary. Necessary. We toured the museum and saw many paintings. We toured the museum and saw many paintings. If you don't lock the door, anyone can enter the house. If you don't lock the door, anyone can enter the house. What recipe should we try to cook together? What recipe should we try to cook together? Didn't they mark? Didn't they mark? We are injured. We are injured. She was trying on different outfits for a job interview. She was trying on different outfits for a job interview. Your mother was a postman. Your mother was a postman. Usually denied. Usually denied. All instructions are included in the manual. All instructions are included in the manual. I rarely would. I rarely would. He watched a football match on TV. He watched a football match on TV. Was the rain quiet? Was the rain quiet? Should I buy a car? Should I buy a car? Worried every now and then? Worried every now and then? He is a talented musician. He is a talented musician. Can you give me some advice? Can you give me some advice? We should work on our communication skills to avoid misunderstandings. We should work on our communication skills to avoid misunderstandings. 1. I am not sure I can do this. 1. I am not sure I can do this. Your half-sister was a landscape architect. Your half-sister was a landscape architect. He's already made dinner. He's already made dinner. How often does he go to the theater? How often does he go to the theater? Tommy has more grapes than Tony. Tommy has more grapes than Tony. How are you on the weekend? How are you on the weekend? I remove. I remove. If they win the match, they will celebrate. If they win the match, they will celebrate. Also take a look. Also take a look. Your colleague is the postman. Your colleague is the postman. Can you use scissors? Can you use scissors? It's our turn. It's our turn. He cooked dinner for himself. He cooked dinner for himself. I can stretch at sunrise. I can stretch at sunrise. The dog barks loudly. The dog barks loudly. Tries to save money. Tries to save money. Cannot teach at sunrise. Cannot teach at sunrise. 4. If there is no chance of a storm, I will go out. 4. If there is no chance of a storm, I will go out. Raw beets. Raw beets. Our grandmother was an economist. Our grandmother was an economist. He had finished his work before the meeting began. He had finished his work before the meeting began. They think I'm out for lunch. They think I'm out for lunch. Tries to save money. Tries to save money. I should remember later. I should remember later. It belongs to the government. It belongs to the government. The teacher is explaining the lesson to the students. The teacher is explaining the lesson to the students. We need to stick to the budget for this project. We need to stick to the budget for this project. Do we have all weekend support? Do we have all weekend support? He is very young and very new to our industry. But he is open to learning. He is very young and very new to our industry. But he is open to learning. Was their mother a rapper? Was their mother a rapper? The restaurant was serving customers for hours before they ran out of food. The restaurant was serving customers for hours before they ran out of food. He is the funniest person I know. He is the funniest person I know. Especially beef. Especially beef. We used our own cars. We used our own cars. I'm not going on vacation until I save enough money. I'm not going on vacation until I save enough money. She had been teaching for 10 years before deciding to change her career. She had been teaching for 10 years before deciding to change her career. Was your day good? Was your day good? Illustrator 5. Not later in the morning. Illustrator 5. Not later in the morning. The girl who plays the piano is very talented. The girl who plays the piano is very talented. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. They were building a sand castle on the beach. They were building a sand castle on the beach. Can't I repeat? Can't I repeat? Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Is there a deli section in the store? Is there a deli section in the store? I will be thinking of you today. I will be thinking of you today. It was delicious. It was delicious. I did not solve. I did not solve. We know the song. We know the song. Can't jump occasionally? Can't jump occasionally? I want to ask a lot of questions. I want to ask a lot of questions. I was giving a job. I was giving a job. Will he not defend? Will he not defend? Did they finish their work before going into the game? Did they finish their work before going into the game? I'm in the room with the music. I'm in the room with the music. Other hand. Other hand. Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your pen? It wasn't like. It wasn't like. Wasn't I a baker 5 centuries ago? Wasn't I a baker 5 centuries ago? We'll meet at the restaurant, right? We'll meet at the restaurant, right? If I don't set an alarm, I'll sleep too much. If I don't set an alarm, I'll sleep too much. Was her grandmother a guard? Was her grandmother a guard? Were their mother-in-laws naturalists? Were their mother-in-laws naturalists? I don't notice anything special about the current state of things. I don't notice anything special about the current state of things. It's the blue we run for Unilever. It's the blue we run for Unilever. She managed to bake a delicious cake. She managed to bake a delicious cake. Rarely can you improve? Rarely can you improve? He didn't said a week ago. He didn't said a week ago. I am good. I am good. The music is too loud for me to concentrate. The music is too loud for me to concentrate. Retail. Retail. He left home early because he didn't want to be late. He left home early because he didn't want to be late. Do you know the woman who works at the bank? Do you know the woman who works at the bank? Not going to be an assistant last year? Not going to be an assistant last year? They will be industrialists in the twilight. They will be industrialists in the twilight. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. The team is working hard for the competitions. The team is working hard for the competitions. Shouldn't it be cold after 5 weeks? Shouldn't it be cold after 5 weeks? Property. Property. Can you lend me some money? I don't have enough food for lunch. Can you lend me some money? I don't have enough food for lunch. We didn't finish any tickets. We didn't finish any tickets. We are going to the park. We are going to the park. Class starts exactly at 9 a.m. Class starts exactly at 9 a.m. The room is empty. The room is empty. You have to be careful when crossing the street. You have to be careful when crossing the street. He could fix the broken bike on his own. He could fix the broken bike on his own. Social. Social. He may forget to bring his umbrella. He may forget to bring his umbrella. I wish I had spent more time studying for the exam. I wish I had spent more time studying for the exam. They lived in the same neighborhood for years before they met each other. They lived in the same neighborhood for years before they met each other. She goes shopping after school. She goes shopping after school. The bus driver announced our next stop. The bus driver announced our next stop. They should have fixed the broken glass. They should have fixed the broken glass. Her grandmother is a manicurist. Her grandmother is a manicurist. Do they rarely get points? Do they rarely get points? Do you think I'm beautiful? Do you think I'm beautiful? I found my keys. I found my keys. We shouldn't kiss now. We shouldn't kiss now. Scissors. Scissors. Will not suppress. Will not suppress. Can you help me get up? Can you help me get up? We'll run into more obstacles down the road. We'll run into more obstacles down the road. He is a talented chef and cooks delicious food. He is a talented chef and cooks delicious food. I am sad. The doorbell rings. I am sad. The doorbell rings. Could they be headhunters? Could they be headhunters? I don't want to lose my magazines because I look good. I don't want to lose my magazines because I look good. Can I say every week? Can I say every week? Extraordinary Isabel. Extraordinary Isabel. He worked overtime so he could finish the project on time. He worked overtime so he could finish the project on time. Rarely do we get. Rarely do we get. The event will take place next week. The event will take place next week. Is this the right bus for the city center? Is this the right bus for the city center? They visited every state in the USA. They visited every state in the USA. After 3 months, you should be a weightlifter. After 3 months, you should be a weightlifter. I need new batteries. Can you give me fresh ones? I need new batteries. Can you give me fresh ones? To pretend. To pretend. Can't get a job right away? Can't get a job right away? They can paint soon. They can paint soon. Where on campus can I find a place to play basketball? Where on campus can I find a place to play basketball? Didn't he get any points? Didn't he get any points? Okay, everything. Okay, everything. I have a pain in my chest. I have a pain in my chest. He wants to have a cup of coffee. He wants to have a cup of coffee. We did the test on Android. We did the test on Android. I know it. I know it. I have too many items in my backpack. I have too many items in my backpack. I have to clean the house before the guests arrive. I have to clean the house before the guests arrive. When I visit my family, we all have dinner together. When I visit my family, we all have dinner together. The beach was crowded but we still had a great time. The beach was crowded but we still had a great time. Will you pick me up from the airport? Will you pick me up from the airport? Students are preparing for the school theater. Students are preparing for the school theater. Aware of the problem. Aware of the problem. Of all the options, this seemed like the best fit. Of all the options, this seemed like the best fit. They could not touch at sunset. They could not touch at sunset. We adopted a dog to have a friend. We adopted a dog to have a friend. Kids will play board games on a rainy day. Kids will play board games on a rainy day. Then they don't sell. Then they don't sell. I'm never late. I'm never late. Fancy dress? Fancy dress? You shouldn't use profanity in public. You shouldn't use profanity in public. What can I get for you today? What can I get for you today? These cookies are too sweet for my taste. These cookies are too sweet for my taste. Can't they engineer it later at 5 a.m.? Can't they engineer it later at 5 a.m.? Were you sick yesterday? Were you sick yesterday? The book is about the history of the city. The book is about the history of the city. He has to call his family to let him know that he's okay. He has to call his family to let him know that he's okay. Students who work hard always get good grades. Students who work hard always get good grades. Your wife was a marketer. Your wife was a marketer. Do you want to see monsters? Do you want to see monsters? Was our nephew a watchman? Was our nephew a watchman? He studied Spanish for 3 years. He studied Spanish for 3 years. Epicenter. Epicenter. Shouldn't he be the judge? Shouldn't he be the judge? I can't understand what's going on inside his head. I can't understand what's going on inside his head. They played video games all night. They played video games all night. We clean the house on Saturdays. We clean the house on Saturdays. Shouldn't it always fly? Shouldn't it always fly? He read a novel during his vacation. He read a novel during his vacation. He wouldn't be a watchman every year. He wouldn't be a watchman every year. Should the librarian arrive in 3 days? Should the librarian arrive in 3 days? Can you get me a glass of water, please? Can you get me a glass of water, please? His stepson was the butler. His stepson was the butler. You didn't cut 10 years. You didn't cut 10 years. He had been playing the violin for hours, so he could play the difficult piece perfectly. He had been playing the violin for hours, so he could play the difficult piece perfectly. Closely. Closely. You must try the new sushi place downtown. You must try the new sushi place downtown. What is your favorite TV show? What is your favorite TV show? What a beautiful city. What a beautiful city. What sports can you do? What sports can you do? Would it be suitable at dusk? Would it be suitable at dusk? Are there stepson philosophers? Are there stepson philosophers? I worked hard on the project and got compliments from my boss as a result. I worked hard on the project and got compliments from my boss as a result. You can go. You can go. His stepfather is the manager. His stepfather is the manager. The party starts at 2000. The party starts at 2000. Not often a drummer. Not often a drummer. Cost. Cost. They've been discussing the issue for a while. They've been discussing the issue for a while. Is our stepsister a surrogate? Is our stepsister a surrogate? What did you think about them? What did you think about them? They play video games on the weekends. They play video games on the weekends. I can't take a step. I can't take a step. I go to school with my bike. I go to school with my bike. Also, can you remind me to water the plants later? Also, can you remind me to water the plants later? Does it pull? Does it pull? We have to wear uniforms at work. We have to wear uniforms at work. Can I bring you something else? Can I bring you something else? They don't start a war right away. They don't start a war right away. The dress is very stylish, perfect for party. The dress is very stylish, perfect for party. Let's go to the cinema and watch a movie. Let's go to the cinema and watch a movie. What is your phone number? What is your phone number? Are you enjoying your holiday? Are you enjoying your holiday? Other hands. Other hands. Your cousins are oncologists. Your cousins are oncologists. Kinds of shapes. Kinds of shapes. The boy group played with 5 different balls. The boy group played with 5 different balls. Do you have any children? Do you have any children? Migrate. Migrate. How cute. How cute. Where will we get the result? Where will we get the result? Can I bring my own bag to pack my food? Can I bring my own bag to pack my food? You can adapt after one night. You can adapt after one night. His house is cleaner than mine. His house is cleaner than mine. Are we daily servants? Are we daily servants? I shouldn't open. I shouldn't open. He is good at playing basketball but not very good at football. He is good at playing basketball but not very good at football. I was studying when you came home. I was studying when you came home. He is capable of speaking multiple languages. He is capable of speaking multiple languages. After the rain I could see the rainbow. After the rain I could see the rainbow. He is a successful businessman and owns his own company. He is a successful businessman and owns his own company. We can't use it after 4 nights. We can't use it after 4 nights. If they had called a doctor, he would have come immediately. If they had called a doctor, he would have come immediately. I continue to sneeze. I continue to sneeze. I have 2 cats. The black one is named Luna. I have 2 cats. The black one is named Luna. As you remember. As you remember. He must butcher at noon. He must butcher at noon. Don't they suffer at 1 a.m.? Don't they suffer at 1 a.m.? I'll have you checked out by the doctor. I'll have you checked out by the doctor. Had they finished decorating the house before the guests arrived? Had they finished decorating the house before the guests arrived? I want to eat healthy food. I want to eat healthy food. Where is your favorite place to visit? Where is your favorite place to visit? This was a great idea. This was a great idea. We have to design it after 5 days. We have to design it after 5 days. We were disembarked every day. We were disembarked every day. You can race. You can race. Your colleague was eternal. Your colleague was eternal. We would continue with other platforms. We would continue with other platforms. I need to buy some bread. I need to buy some bread. We will travel to Europe next summer. We will travel to Europe next summer. Can you close the door on your way out? Can you close the door on your way out? Can I cut it at night? Can I cut it at night? If it's foggy, I won't go out. If it's foggy, I won't go out. The dog barked loudly at the postman. The dog barked loudly at the postman. I need to finish writing this report. I need to finish writing this report. I don't want to lose my losses because of low prices. I don't want to lose my losses because of low prices. This is your sense of humor. This is your sense of humor. I have a great understanding. I have a great understanding. Food tastes bad, I don't like it. Food tastes bad, I don't like it. For I'm going to the beach. For I'm going to the beach. My father works late tonight. My father works late tonight. He enjoys reading books in his spare time. He enjoys reading books in his spare time. Next year, he will have visited all the major cities of Europe. Next year, he will have visited all the major cities of Europe. I feel a little sick. I feel a little sick. They organized a surprise birthday party for their friends. They organized a surprise birthday party for their friends. Didn't you get organized right away? Didn't you get organized right away? I walked the dog this morning. I walked the dog this morning. I was sorry. I was sorry. How much does a dozen eggs cost? How much does a dozen eggs cost? They walked to the other side of the bridge. They walked to the other side of the bridge. Please call me back as soon as possible. Please call me back as soon as possible. Shouldn't they be rowing soon? Shouldn't they be rowing soon? How many pieces of luggage will you have? How many pieces of luggage will you have? I just had a new baby so I'm so tired. I just had a new baby so I'm so tired. I had to do a few extra push-ups this morning to make up for yesterday. I had to do a few extra push-ups this morning to make up for yesterday. Do you have a car for people? Do you have a car for people? Your cousins are journalists. Your cousins are journalists. Many businesses had to close as a result of the pandemic. Many businesses had to close as a result of the pandemic. I will prescribe you some medicines. I will prescribe you some medicines. When the audience arrives, they will start the concert. When the audience arrives, they will start the concert. I have some time before the meeting. I have some time before the meeting. Running after 2 weeks. Running after 2 weeks. The legacy of his service to his country will always be remembered. The legacy of his service to his country will always be remembered. His cousins were bakers. His cousins were bakers. The flowers look beautiful. The flowers look beautiful. These are your pet's rewards. These are your pet's rewards. The report provides an overview of research on the impact of social media on children and adolescents. The report provides an overview of research on the impact of social media on children and adolescents. I went to shopping. I went to shopping. They will not start construction until they get the permits. They will not start construction until they get the permits. Do you have a shuttle to the airport? Do you have a shuttle to the airport? We have been waiting for the bus for half an hour. We have been waiting for the bus for half an hour. The car broke down on the highway. The car broke down on the highway. I was in bed after 4 weeks. I was in bed after 4 weeks. I am working as an administrator. I am working as an administrator. We are very close to the result. We are very close to the result. He went on a trip with his friends. He went on a trip with his friends. You may not get it after 4 p.m. You may not get it after 4 p.m. These three. Black coffee is stronger than white. Black coffee is stronger than white. Was he working on his project before realizing he had lost all his files? Was he working on his project before realizing he had lost all his files? He has to pay his bills by the end of the month. He has to pay his bills by the end of the month. You can't pass after 3 nights. You can't pass after 3 nights. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. We have to study for the exam. We have to study for the exam. He was never a photographer. He was never a photographer. You cannot teach. You cannot teach. Weren't they an anesthesiologist? Weren't they an anesthesiologist? His friends were scientists. His friends were scientists. Shouldn't he hold? Shouldn't he hold? Their father was a filmmaker. Their father was a filmmaker. I shouldn't measure. I shouldn't measure. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. This is a healthy salad. This is a healthy salad. Your grandparents are sailors. Your grandparents are sailors. Can I bring a family member with me? Can I bring a family member with me? Let me know if you need some space. Let me know if you need some space. I can blame. I can blame. Cannot be published annually. Cannot be published annually. I need a wheelchair. I need a wheelchair. He seems confident in his abilities. He seems confident in his abilities. They can upload it next year. They can upload it next year. I am watching TV. I am watching TV. International cooperation is essential to tackling global challenges. International cooperation is essential to tackling global challenges. Truths. Truths. The delivery date of the book I borrowed from the library is tomorrow. The delivery date of the book I borrowed from the library is tomorrow. The article was published in a popular magazine. The article was published in a popular magazine. Your aunt is an astronomer. Your aunt is an astronomer. What can I give you? What can I give you? Students must turn in their assignments on time. Students must turn in their assignments on time. He put salt in the soup for flavor. He put salt in the soup for flavor. We should meet. We should meet. Can they surround weekly? Can they surround weekly? So it's a tall building. So it's a tall building. I had already packed my bags when I realized I had forgotten my passport. I had already packed my bags when I realized I had forgotten my passport. It could be. It could be. They took a shower. They took a shower. He used to work in a factory, but now he has his own business. He used to work in a factory, but now he has his own business. Okay, then I don't do anything. Okay, then I don't do anything. I can't exercise. I can't exercise. They had their house cleaned by a professional cleaner. They had their house cleaned by a professional cleaner. Don't we remember 2 nights ago? Don't we remember 2 nights ago? What a beautiful sunset. What a beautiful sunset. I have many dreams. I have many dreams. It belongs to my sister. It belongs to my sister. Raw beets. Raw beets. Have you been to America before? Have you been to America before? The choir will rehearse for their concert tomorrow night. The choir will rehearse for their concert tomorrow night. Students are discussing about homework. Students are discussing about homework. They speak loudly. They speak loudly. Can you follow my finger with your eyes, please? Can you follow my finger with your eyes, please? The cloak was blowing in the wind and it looked really romantic. The cloak was blowing in the wind and it looked really romantic. I got it from Pascal. You know, next to the bank. I got it from Pascal. You know, next to the bank. I was too late to catch the train. I was too late to catch the train. My relatives do. My relatives do. I want to improve my English speaking skills. I want to improve my English speaking skills. We support the community by participating in local events. We support the community by participating in local events. Tony, I created a ticket for the JIRA Scrum Board clearance. Tony, I created a ticket for the JIRA Scrum Board clearance. Should you base at dusk? Should you base at dusk? We wouldn't load at dusk. We wouldn't load at dusk. Did he rarely speak? Did he rarely speak? We watched a documentary on TV. We watched a documentary on TV. I ate carrots for breakfast and felt really healthy. I ate carrots for breakfast and felt really healthy. Shouldn't he be watching? Shouldn't he be watching? Next year he will have acquired a pet. Next year he will have acquired a pet. We couldn't finish any tickets. We couldn't finish any tickets. The baby cries loudly. The baby cries loudly. Aforementioned. Aforementioned. I might try a new restaurant for dinner. I might try a new restaurant for dinner. I don't know. How do I tell? I don't know. How do I tell? Aren't you normally a physicist? Aren't you normally a physicist? Concert tickets were purchased online. Concert tickets were purchased online. I can't find my keys, he said. I can't find my keys, he said. This will not be necessary. This will not be necessary. I will need to take a blood sample for testing. I will need to take a blood sample for testing. Depends on the size of the problem. Depends on the size of the problem. They will be living in this city by the end of the year. They will be living in this city by the end of the year. Wasn't he the advertiser next year? Wasn't he the advertiser next year? To trust. To trust. Hector came home late last night. Hector came home late last night. I need vacation. I need vacation. It should be. It should be. Don't you always have to insist? Don't you always have to insist? They usually have breakfast together. They usually have breakfast together. Without. They become more interested in politics. They become more interested in politics. How often does he go for a run? How often does he go for a run? Can you give me a job? Can you give me a job? Are we holding at noon? Are we holding at noon? If I had known it would rain, I would have brought an umbrella. If I had known it would rain, I would have brought an umbrella. His parents were porters. His parents were porters. Broken. I often go for a walk in the park. I often go for a walk in the park. Not everyone is happy to work in a team. Not everyone is happy to work in a team. He was a factory worker 1 week ago. He was a factory worker 1 week ago. Can't they pay? Can't they pay? Not all of the cookies were eaten at the party. Not all of the cookies were eaten at the party. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. You serve at night. You serve at night. I can remember every week. I can remember every week. The book written by Shakespeare is a masterpiece. The book written by Shakespeare is a masterpiece. Can I use coupons for my shopping? Can I use coupons for my shopping? I studied English yesterday. I studied English yesterday. Doesn't look like he's having fun. Doesn't look like he's having fun. They visited Paris, we visited. They visited Paris, we visited. We will start our own business in the future. We will start our own business in the future. His sisters are missionaries. His sisters are missionaries. How many chairs are in the dining room? How many chairs are in the dining room? His goal is to become a doctor. His goal is to become a doctor. The food was prepared by the chef. The food was prepared by the chef. Would you like to try our specialty coffee? Would you like to try our specialty coffee? Can I help you find a comfortable seat? Can I help you find a comfortable seat? You must exist. You must exist. Should I preside at 2 a.m.? Should I preside at 2 a.m.? Can't he usually be a musician? Can't he usually be a musician? Was your nephew a speaker? Was your nephew a speaker? Should it repeat soon? Should it repeat soon? Can I cover? Can I cover? They can lobby next year. They can lobby next year. Can't be organized. Can't be organized. We are listening to music. We are listening to music. Also known as. Also known as. Will I be a bartender after 4 weeks? Will I be a bartender after 4 weeks? Students study in the library. Students study in the library. If they throw a party, they'll invite us too. If they throw a party, they'll invite us too. Would dive earlier. Would dive earlier. Wasn't he the captain at dusk? Wasn't he the captain at dusk? The car driven by the drunk driver caused the accident. The car driven by the drunk driver caused the accident. 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? We have a meeting in an hour. We have a meeting in an hour. My children were minors. My children were minors. Will you check in early? Will you check in early? The shop is far from my house. The shop is far from my house. The city center is bustling. The city center is bustling. When did he leave? When did he leave? We need to finish this project by the end of the week. We need to finish this project by the end of the week. The distance between the two cities is about 200 miles. The distance between the two cities is about 200 miles. We were pen pals. We were pen pals. I am writing the research paper. I am writing the research paper. I do not have much time. I do not have much time. Nighttime should not be compared. Nighttime should not be compared. Is our neighbor a worker? Is our neighbor a worker? Do they connect right away? Do they connect right away? They must become archaeologists immediately. They must become archaeologists immediately. He needs to buy a plane ticket. He needs to buy a plane ticket. Your aunt is an insurance company. Your aunt is an insurance company. His aunts are sociologists. His aunts are sociologists. They must become a dietitian every year. They must become a dietitian every year. Will you work? Will you work? I have a meeting every workday morning. I have a meeting every workday morning. Significant. Significant. For I go to kindergarten. For I go to kindergarten. Good job. Good job. Do you have plans for next weekend? Do you have plans for next weekend? We visit our relatives during the holidays. We visit our relatives during the holidays. They were practicing their dance routine for a competition. They were practicing their dance routine for a competition. Where are you from today? Where are you from today? I have to make a phone call to my friend. I have to make a phone call to my friend. We have created 10 questions in your ticketing system. We have created 10 questions in your ticketing system. Don't you solve? Don't you solve? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? I don't care if you're 35. I don't care if you're 35. I will do whatever you want me to do. I will do whatever you want me to do. Can't open next year? Can't open next year? Do you have any food? Do you have any food? They sat on the floor while watching the movie. They sat on the floor while watching the movie. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. The train will arrive in 5 minutes. The train will arrive in 5 minutes. The movie was exciting. The movie was exciting. You enter school. You enter school. Vaccine. Vaccine. We need to buy food weekly. We need to buy food weekly. I'm going to the library to buy a new book. I'm going to the library to buy a new book. If it's cold, wear a hat and gloves. If it's cold, wear a hat and gloves. I'm meeting with my study group tomorrow. I'm meeting with my study group tomorrow. The project was completed on time. The project was completed on time. She has been doing ballet since she was a child. She has been doing ballet since she was a child. Shouldn't there be a businesswoman a month? Shouldn't there be a businesswoman a month? Where will you stay while you're here? Where will you stay while you're here? We have a lot of tickets for what's going to be released in the next sprint. We have a lot of tickets for what's going to be released in the next sprint. You didn't tell me anything about yourself. You didn't tell me anything about yourself. He likes to play football. He likes to play football. Will be accepted last year. Will be accepted last year. Analysis of the data showed interesting results. Analysis of the data showed interesting results. Will you ride every year? Will you ride every year? I shouldn't tie up 10 years. I shouldn't tie up 10 years. Former CEO accused of fraud. Former CEO accused of fraud. How many apples will you buy from the market? How many apples will you buy from the market? How long have you been married? How long have you been married? Shouldn't he win soon? Shouldn't he win soon? I am doing my homework. I am doing my homework. Extrovert. Extrovert. We will visit the beach during our vacation. We will visit the beach during our vacation. The house is indescribable. The house is indescribable. After breakfast we went for a walk. After breakfast we went for a walk. They go to the lake in summer days. They go to the lake in summer days. Need to wait now? Need to wait now? Can they answer at sunset? Can they answer at sunset? We have to clean the house. We have to clean the house. She is your daughter and she loves you. She is your daughter and she loves you. He is repairing the car engine. He is repairing the car engine. This is against the law. This is against the law. Was I a regular sometimes? Was I a regular sometimes? It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. There are not enough seats in the theater. There are not enough seats in the theater. Good job. Good job. Stepped. Stepped. Can you help me find the campus computer lab? Can you help me find the campus computer lab? I will go. I will go. His spirit is good. His spirit is good. I own this house. I own this house. Was his family a forester? Was his family a forester? I need to stretch my legs after that long trip. I need to stretch my legs after that long trip. They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. We went to the city by train to visit the museums. We went to the city by train to visit the museums. I found myself singing along to the song. I found myself singing along to the song. I won't find out in 4 months. I won't find out in 4 months. These tickets are too many. These tickets are too many. Should not shoot at sunset. Should not shoot at sunset. Impatient. Impatient. Anna, your life is in danger. Anna, your life is in danger. Do you want to say something? Do you want to say something? The letter was handwritten. The letter was handwritten. Window air conditioner is perfect for a small room. Window air conditioner is perfect for a small room. What's this? It's a pen. What's this? It's a pen. Please choose me. Please choose me. He drove to work this morning. He drove to work this morning. Can we get a coroner in 1 day? Can we get a coroner in 1 day? May not take pictures occasionally. may not take pictures occasionally. The dog is running towards the park. The dog is running towards the park. Can't I usually not matter? Can't I usually not matter? Should they listen? Should they listen? They want to learn how to dance salsa. They want to learn how to dance salsa. I'm in the room next to you. I'm in the room next to you. He went to the library to borrow some books. He went to the library to borrow some books. When I can't get pregnant. When I can't get pregnant. They were studying for a dance competition. They were studying for a dance competition. Can declare. Can declare. We've been driving for hours. We've been driving for hours. Do you have any siblings? Do you have any siblings? The company is expanding its business internationally. The company is expanding its business internationally. The legendary musician gave a concert to a large audience. The legendary musician gave a concert to a large audience. The effort required to finish the project was enormous. The effort required to finish the project was enormous. The small bag is mine, the big one is my sister's. The small bag is mine, the big one is my sister's. Will not wage war every year. Will not wage war every year. He didn't survive a week ago. He didn't survive a week ago. Will you be able to get to the meeting on time? Will you be able to get to the meeting on time? Will you ride a rabbit? Will you ride a rabbit? I often go for a walk in the park. I often go for a walk in the park. Food tastes spicy. Food tastes spicy. I'm going to bed early later tonight. I'm going to bed early later tonight. I want to improve my English speaking skills. I want to improve my English speaking skills. Is my sister a filmmaker? Is my sister a filmmaker? You look divine. You look divine. Where will we get the result? Where will we get the result? Could he be a pathologist in the twilight? Could he be a pathologist in the twilight? The peak of his career was in the 1990s. The peak of his career was in the 1990s. Can I get a rain check for this non-existent item? Can I get a rain check for this non-existent item? They envy your success and wealth. They envy your success and wealth. Didn't happen often. Didn't happen often. My sister made the cake. My sister made the cake. He was late for his appointment. He was late for his appointment. He likes listening to music. He likes listening to music. He has fever. He has fever. His daughters were ambassadors. His daughters were ambassadors. 2 centuries from now, we shouldn't be doing detective work. 2 centuries from now, we shouldn't be doing detective work. What should I do? What should I do? That's incredible. That's incredible. The Empire State Building is the tallest building in New York. The Empire State Building is the tallest building in New York. He fixed the car. He fixed the car. They were listening to the radio and getting up. They were listening to the radio and getting up. I will press the correct one. I will press the correct one. Left the house. Left the house. I wrote the article. I wrote the article. They will donate money to charity. They will donate money to charity. What is the effect? What is the effect? 4 days ago interested. 4 days ago interested. Can I get a refund if I change my mind? Can I get a refund if I change my mind? This is her favorite movie. This is her favorite movie. Not every month. Not every month. I will do my best. I will do my best. What do you think about our company? What do you think about our company? This movie is better than the previous one. This movie is better than the previous one. Can't replace it after 2 years? Can't replace it after 2 years? The doorman cleaned the windows. The doorman cleaned the windows. There is a ball under the bed. There is a ball under the bed. No noon. No noon. Was his grandson a jeweler? Was his grandson a jeweler? If it's snowing, I won't go out. If it's snowing, I won't go out. The restaurant is between the bank and the post office. The restaurant is between the bank and the post office. Have you finished studying for the exam? Have you finished studying for the exam? Have you been waiting for a long time to get a response to your email? Have you been waiting for a long time to get a response to your email? A little. A little. Couldn't he have been a bellboy 4 centuries ago? Couldn't he have been a bellboy 4 centuries ago? See you in a second. See you in a second. He is a firefighter and responds to emergencies. He is a firefighter and responds to emergencies. We will organize a dinner party at our place. We will organize a dinner party at our place. We went out for a drink after the concert. We went out for a drink after the concert. She was cleaning the kitchen after dinner. She was cleaning the kitchen after dinner. They organized a surprise birthday party for their friends. They organized a surprise birthday party for their friends. How much is a pack of chips? How much is a pack of chips? They should have fixed the car before the trip. They should have fixed the car before the trip. He found his wallet. He found his wallet. Can we do it in 2 minutes? Can we do it in 2 minutes? The land was very even and very difficult to envelop. The land was very even and very difficult to envelop. Am I a deputy at noon? Am I a deputy at noon? What is your favorite animal? What is your favorite animal? I won't be able to take a long vacation sooner than next year. I won't be able to take a long vacation sooner than next year. Should we change our approach? Should we change our approach? We'll create it in a minute. We'll create it in a minute. We're getting a new car next month. We're getting a new car next month. No afternoon esthetician. No afternoon esthetician. I can be mayor by noon. I can be mayor by noon. They want to start their own business. They want to start their own business. They had their lawn cut by a landscape architect. They had their lawn cut by a landscape architect. Can't I compare? Can't I compare? Deserved. Deserved. They didn't watch. They didn't watch. Is my niece a babysitter? Is my niece a babysitter? She is a singer and has a beautiful voice. She is a singer and has a beautiful voice. Frequent salesperson. Frequent salesperson. Teacher assistant. Teacher assistant. He'll finish his workout and take a shower after that. He'll finish his workout and take a shower after that. She needs to clean her room on the weekends. She needs to clean her room on the weekends. He had already had his breakfast before he went for a run. He had already had his breakfast before he went for a run. I try to avoid eating fast food. I try to avoid eating fast food. We must not forget to bring our passports to the airport. We must not forget to bring our passports to the airport. He has been working on this project for a week. He has been working on this project for a week. Should it be the announcer? Should it be the announcer? She carefully followed the recipe, so the cake turned out delicious. She carefully followed the recipe, so the cake turned out delicious. Doesn't he confess? Doesn't he confess? We do not have enough information to make a decision. We do not have enough information to make a decision. We sang songs at karaoke night. We sang songs at karaoke night. Didn't she disappear 4 months ago? Didn't she disappear 4 months ago? Insufficient. Insufficient. I care about the next 4 centuries. I care about the next 4 centuries. Get out of here. Get out of here. Was our spouse a pie player? Was our spouse a pie player? My laptop is newer than yours. My laptop is newer than yours. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Could it shed last year? Could it shed last year? Was our stepson a pie player? Was our stepson a pie player? Your uncle was a courier. Your uncle was a courier. Did they eat at dusk? Did they eat at dusk? To hit. To hit. I am working now. I am working now. She had her hair dyed by a professional stylist. She had her hair dyed by a professional stylist. Tomorrow morning I will get up early to go jogging. Tomorrow morning I will get up early to go jogging. By the time they graduate, we'll have already planned the graduation party. By the time they graduate, we'll have already planned the graduation party. Equal. Equal. They should have called a plumber to fix the leak. They should have called a plumber to fix the leak. His brothers were art directors. His brothers were art directors. I will start a new career. I will start a new career. Sarah has been taking dance lessons for a year. Sarah has been taking dance lessons for a year. I can't concentrate on my work because of this noise. I can't concentrate on my work because of this noise. Where do you go when you are sick? Where do you go when you are sick? The woman living next door is a doctor. The woman living next door is a doctor. As the sun goes down, the colors become brighter. As the sun goes down, the colors become brighter. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Wasn't he an alchemist a century ago? Wasn't he an alchemist a century ago? What is your favorite sandwich filling? What is your favorite sandwich filling? I will do the grocery shopping on the way home. I will do the grocery shopping on the way home. Is Wi-Fi paid? Is Wi-Fi paid? I am very impressed. I am very impressed. Protection is the act of keeping something safe. Protection is the act of keeping something safe. We should have listened to his advice. We should have listened to his advice. She was doing the laundry when she ran out of detergent. She was doing the laundry when she ran out of detergent. Now do you want to talk to me about my sons? Now do you want to talk to me about my sons? He went to India and visited many historical places. He went to India and visited many historical places. What are you doing in the garden? What are you doing in the garden? You will never see me again. You will never see me again. I am likely to like honest and sincere people. I am likely to like honest and sincere people. Should finance it. Should finance it. Can you appreciate? Can you appreciate? This is something beyond the reach of human knowledge. This is something beyond the reach of human knowledge. Size. Size. Raw beats. Raw beats. Not commented now? Not commented now? We usually wouldn't stop. We usually wouldn't stop. should not shoot at sunset, should not shoot at sunset. Their stepmother is an optician. Their stepmother is an optician. Let me tag you in the chat about which topic they are talking about. Let me tag you in the chat about which topic they are talking about. Although they disagreed, they were respectful to each other. Although they disagreed, they were respectful to each other. There are few grapes. There are few grapes. The company will launch a new product next month. The company will launch a new product next month. Can you buy some milk from the grocery store? Can you buy some milk from the grocery store? The team coached by his manager won the match. The team coached by his manager won the match. I will be working on my new novel next month. I will be working on my new novel next month. I read a novel this week. I read a novel this week. I went to the school today. I went to the school today. You don't immediately reduce it. You don't immediately reduce it. You are responsible for your silence. You are responsible for your silence. Didn't she wait? Didn't she wait? Were we analyzing? Were we analyzing? I want to contribute to the discussion. I want to contribute to the discussion. Was our son a waiter? Was our son a waiter? Why did you leave early? Asked. Why did you leave early? Asked. He gave his clothes to dry cleaners at the dry cleaners. He gave his clothes to dry cleaners at the dry cleaners. How many bottles do you have? How many bottles do you have? You shouldn't be a contractor after 3 midnight. You shouldn't be a contractor after 3 midnight. Will not prevail at dawn. Will not prevail at dawn. I don't notice anything strange. I don't notice anything strange. Then I can't. Then I can't. Was your son a journalist? Was your son a journalist? Is our stepmother a busboy? Is our stepmother a busboy? He has been studying Spanish for 6 months. He has been studying Spanish for 6 months. Didn't he recognize someone earlier in the morning? Didn't he recognize someone earlier in the morning? They won't start the meeting until the president arrives. They won't start the meeting until the president arrives. The sun sets in the west every evening. The sun sets in the west every evening. Are their mother-in-law's songwriters? Are their mother-in-law's songwriters? I want to tell. I want to tell. He got stuck in traffic on his way to work. He got stuck in traffic on his way to work. I'm sorry I offended you. I'm sorry I offended you. Tom wants to go to Japan. Tom wants to go to Japan. Why don't you sit? Why don't you sit? I enjoyed reading an article about famous historical events. I enjoyed reading an article about famous historical events. Where can I find the beer and wine section? Where can I find the beer and wine section? The team did not win the championship. The team did not win the championship. What a delicious pizza. What a delicious pizza. The impact of the new policy on the environment was not yet known. The impact of the new policy on the environment was not yet known. Did you fall? Did you fall? I have a lot of homework to do. I have a lot of homework to do. What do we get? What do we get? Can't you apply then? Can't you apply then? I will have completed the project before the specified date. I will have completed the project before the specified date. What is your contact number? What is your contact number? English sentences that can be used every day. English sentences that can be used every day. The decision was supported by the majority. The decision was supported by the majority. I will have completed my certificate by the end of the year. I will have completed my certificate by the end of the year. I never saw him again after that. I never saw him again after that. Is my stepbrother an educator? Is my stepbrother an educator? Learns from time to time. Learns from time to time. They usually go shopping on Saturdays. They usually go shopping on Saturdays. Didn't I become a scientist? Didn't I become a scientist? Can you lend me some money? I forgot my wallet. Can you lend me some money? I forgot my wallet. Didn't I get it? Didn't I get it? They told me, we are planning a surprise party for your birthday. They told me, we are planning a surprise party for your birthday. When I talked to their previous manager, they said the same thing. When I talked to their previous manager, they said the same thing. His cousins were civil engineers. His cousins were civil engineers. Despite the cold weather, we went for a walk. Despite the cold weather, we went for a walk. Was our spouse a pie player? Was our spouse a pie player? Their father was an anesthesiologist. Their father was an anesthesiologist. Occasionally once. Occasionally once. I need to wash my car. I need to wash my car. He watched a movie last night. He watched a movie last night. Would not fail. Would not fail. Did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? After I finish my housework, I can watch TV. After I finish my housework, I can watch TV. Can I be a cleaner now? Can I be a cleaner now? It's in the oven. It's in the oven. Can you deal with it in the afternoon? Can you deal with it in the afternoon? Don't be late for class. Don't be late for class. We are cleaning the house. We are cleaning the house. Can clean. Can clean. The bottom of this bottle is dirty. The bottom of this bottle is dirty. In 9 months we will have a baby. In 9 months we will have a baby. I have a dog. I have a dog. Even if you don't like spicy food, you should try this dish. Even if you don't like spicy food, you should try this dish. You have to talk. You have to talk. It was taking pictures when the camera's memory was full. It was taking pictures when the camera's memory was full. We had sushi for lunch. We had sushi for lunch. Won't find it at sunset. Won't find it at sunset. Was his stepson a masseuse? Was his stepson a masseuse? Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. The cat slept all day. The cat slept all day. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to come to your wedding, she said. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to come to your wedding, she said. Let me see if you have a phone number. Let me see if you have a phone number. They should develop normally. They should develop normally. Don't you need to meet? Don't you need to meet? Be my guest. Be my guest. What is your heart telling you? What is your heart telling you? Do you know the person who lives in that house? Do you know the person who lives in that house? Mary took a taxi. Mary took a taxi. Can defend in the afternoon. Can defend in the afternoon. I'll call you when I get to the station. I'll call you when I get to the station. I was angry. I was angry. He took the toy apart to see how it worked. He took the toy apart to see how it worked. They said we will move to a bigger flat next month. They said we will move to a bigger flat next month. The movie was worse than I expected. The movie was worse than I expected. It costs too much. It costs too much. He bought himself a present for his birthday. He bought himself a present for his birthday. Was my son an ecologist? Was my son an ecologist? I have to find a new job. I have to find a new job. Aren't we going to come to an agreement later in the morning? Aren't we going to come to an agreement later in the morning? The cat was very fast. The cat was very fast. Traffic during rush hours is worse than during off-peak hours. Traffic during rush hours is worse than during off-peak hours. You must not suffer. You must not suffer. This restaurant is busier than the restaurant next door. This restaurant is busier than the restaurant next door. Are you worried right now? Are you worried right now? Can't they sit normally? Can't they sit normally? I never saw him again after that. I never saw him again after that. The conference is scheduled for next year. The conference is scheduled for next year. Haven't I glazed often? Haven't I glazed often? I have to go now. I have to go now. Can you ever settle down? Can you ever settle down? They don't know. They don't know. He has to study for his exams. He has to study for his exams. What is the effect? What is the effect? Is there a sushi counter in the store? Is there a sushi counter in the store? Can I answer? Can I answer? Your relatives were hunters. Your relatives were hunters. We are excited to see the new movie. We are excited to see the new movie. Shouldn't he ever have to teach? Shouldn't he ever have to teach? When do you work in the garden? When do you work in the garden? We went to the movies and it was so much fun. We went to the movies and it was so much fun. I'm not a weekly ecologist. I'm not a weekly ecologist. I can't wait for a fun-filled weekend. I can't wait for a fun-filled weekend. The restaurant was closed when we arrived. The restaurant was closed when we arrived. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the beach. I think English is a very important language. I think English is a very important language. Makes itself. Makes itself. How about going to the concert next week? How about going to the concert next week? He was in the kitchen preparing dinner for his family. He was in the kitchen preparing dinner for his family. We went to the park to enjoy a picnic. We went to the park to enjoy a picnic. 21st century. 21st century. His brother's name is Alex. His brother's name is Alex. We don't talk. We don't talk. Will you close after a weekend? Will you close after a weekend? Has he been taken care of at dawn? Has he been taken care of at dawn? We went to a concert to listen to our favorite band. We went to a concert to listen to our favorite band. The baby is sleepy. The baby is sleepy. Will you remember soon? Will you remember soon? Haven't I been a cop woman often? Haven't I been a cop woman often? We understand the instructions. We understand the instructions. Not analyzed later. Not analyzed later. She teaches yoga. She teaches yoga. He is the drummer. He is the drummer. Thanks in advance. Thanks in advance. If I had known you were coming, I would have made a cake. If I had known you were coming, I would have made a cake. He knows the answer. He knows the answer. Despite being nervous, he gave a great performance. Despite being nervous, he gave a great performance. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. A few days ago. A few days ago. I like ice cream. I like ice cream. Your half-brother was a coach. Your half-brother was a coach. If it snowed a lot, we would make a snowman. If it snowed a lot, we would make a snowman. You are the daily counselor. You are the daily counselor. Do you like cooking? Do you like cooking? He will study English at university. He will study English at university. I feel awkward around large groups of people. I feel awkward around large groups of people. The error was fixed immediately. The error was fixed immediately. No problem. No problem. You didn't tell me anything about yourself. You didn't tell me anything about yourself. The post office is on the left side of the street. The post office is on the left side of the street. We could not publish. We could not publish. Which hand is this? Which hand is this? Do I get engaged often? Do I get engaged often? I understand. I understand. Her cat is sleeping on the sofa. Her cat is sleeping on the sofa. Always announces. Always announces. If he had a dog, he would take him for a walk. If he had a dog, he would take him for a walk. He blamed himself for the missed opportunity. He blamed himself for the missed opportunity. We advertise in the local newspaper. We advertise in the local newspaper. I like swimming. I like swimming. I've already packed my suitcase. I've already packed my suitcase. Did they finish their homework before the deadline? Did they finish their homework before the deadline? How should I prepare for a job interview? How should I prepare for a job interview? We used ABC in the previous team last year. We used ABC in the previous team last year. I told. Maybe you'll meet John. Maybe you'll meet John. Was his uncle a greengrocer? Was his uncle a greengrocer? I can help you with your homework. I can help you with your homework. I'll start by saying I'm not a fan of change. I'll start by saying I'm not a fan of change. Nobody had their own computer in those days. Nobody had their own computer in those days. Were we rented? Were we rented? She always wears trendy clothes. She always wears trendy clothes. Is there a customer service desk in this store? Is there a customer service desk in this store? I prefer taking the bus to the train. I prefer taking the bus to the train. Is her colleague an esthetician? Is her colleague an esthetician? He's going to buy a present for his girlfriend. He's going to buy a present for his girlfriend. They swim in the pool every day. They swim in the pool every day. Take into account. Take into account. I'm buying. I'm buying. I shouldn't skip breakfast. It is the most important meal of the day. I shouldn't skip breakfast. It is the most important meal of the day. It's easy to make mistakes. It's easy to make mistakes. I was wondering if you could help me. I was wondering if you could help me. You shouldn't lie to your friends. You shouldn't lie to your friends. Is he a missionary? Is he a missionary? 5 p.m. They didn't bother. 5 p.m. They didn't bother. If I had a magic potion, I would use it to bring world peace. If I had a magic potion, I would use it to bring world peace. Is your nephew a dishwasher? Is your nephew a dishwasher? Are you enjoying your holiday? Are you enjoying your holiday? Didn't I push 1 week ago? Didn't I push 1 week ago? Will you return at dawn? Will you return at dawn? The situation is beyond the reach of human power. The situation is beyond the reach of human power. You soon became a technician. You soon became a technician. We'll finish this book and write a review after that. We'll finish this book and write a review after that. How much does this book cost? How much does this book cost? Are my cousins captains? Are my cousins captains? I told you everything about me. I told you everything about me. The concert was amazing. The concert was amazing. Are these apples organic? Are these apples organic? They wouldn't cook it every year. They wouldn't cook it every year. He will be participating in a marathon next month. He will be participating in a marathon next month. You weren't a mechanic 3 minutes ago. You weren't a mechanic 3 minutes ago. He used to live in a different country. He used to live in a different country. I'm going to the park. I'm going to the park. The train usually arrives on time. The train usually arrives on time. I'm going to the water park. I'm going to the water park. My stepson interviewer. My stepson interviewer. I am very grateful for my aunt's support. I am very grateful for my aunt's support. His daughter was a cashier. His daughter was a cashier. I will try to join the August sun with the atmosphere. I will try to join the August sun with the atmosphere. In 3 weeks you will be the chef. In 3 weeks you will be the chef. You should have called to cancel the reservation. You should have called to cancel the reservation. The car was parked in the garage. The car was parked in the garage. It is necessary to brush your teeth twice a day. It is necessary to brush your teeth twice a day. These days. These days. I have a red car. I have a red car. For example. For example. What is his name? What is his name? The problem requires a creative solution. The problem requires a creative solution. Every year they kick a kick. Every year they kick a kick. Energize people. Energize people. I need to get a new bus pass. I need to get a new bus pass. We won't be female cops every month. We won't be female cops every month. Is your spouse a physicist? Is your spouse a physicist? After the training is complete, we will evaluate the results. After the training is complete, we will evaluate the results. Won't he be a scientist in 5 seconds? Won't he be a scientist in 5 seconds? By the time you wake up, I'll already be at work. By the time you wake up, I'll already be at work. He will learn to play the guitar. He will learn to play the guitar. I talk to my son every evening after school. I talk to my son every evening after school. I don't know where you will be. I don't know where you will be. May not be a monthly governor. May not be a monthly governor. She will visit her grandparents when she goes on vacation. She will visit her grandparents when she goes on vacation. How do you make a living? How do you make a living? Don't I shoot every week? Don't I shoot every week? She is very talented in singing and dancing. She is very talented in singing and dancing. You clean it after 2 weeks. You clean it after 2 weeks. His half-brother was a postman. His half-brother was a postman. He is good at playing basketball but not very good at football. He is good at playing basketball but not very good at football. I couldn't deal. I couldn't deal. I will be living. I will be living. He is so impatient. He is so impatient. We can make this home. We can make this home. You never forget important dates. You never forget important dates. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Can monthly start? Can monthly start? By this time next year, I will have finished my degree. By this time next year, I will have finished my degree. They must become archaeologists immediately. They must become archaeologists immediately. I found myself singing along to the song. I found myself singing along to the song. Isn't it monthly? Isn't it monthly? Do you eat apple? Do you eat apple? He goes to the gym every morning. He goes to the gym every morning. What did I touch? What did I touch? They started a podcast to discuss current events. They started a podcast to discuss current events. Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? To win. To win. We were going to be linguists in a month. We were going to be linguists in a month. The team will work hard for the next match. The team will work hard for the next match. You will graduate from university in a few months. You will graduate from university in a few months. His stepfather is the manager. His stepfather is the manager. Could I have the bill, please? I'm checking out. Could I have the bill, please? I'm checking out. He has to dance at 3 a.m. He has to dance at 3 a.m. Won't I suffer last year? Won't I suffer last year? They decided to adopt a dog from the shelter. They decided to adopt a dog from the shelter. It should not be quoted infrequently. It should not be quoted infrequently. The next part of this journey went much faster. The next part of this journey went much faster. I bought a new phone last week. I bought a new phone last week. Not all students passed the exam. Not all students passed the exam. They were not wanted last year. They were not wanted last year. They pushed themselves to the limit. They pushed themselves to the limit. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. A jar of raspberry jam. A jar of raspberry jam.